This is how to really easily stream to TikTok using your OBS. So firstly, you need to download the Aitum vertical plugin if you haven't already. Go to aitum.tv/products/vertical and download vertical for free. So of course, do all of the standard stuff to set up the vertical canvas. Click next, click install. I'm not going to click install because I do already have it, but go through all those standard steps and you will get to the next step. So once you've installed that plugin and restarted your OBS, you should now see this on your screen. You can see we've added a brand new canvas on the right side of our screen, which is the vertical canvas that we'll be using to stream directly to TikTok. Now, if you don't see this, you might have an issue with your docs. So go to the docs at the top left and make sure to click on vertical scenes, vertical sources, vertical scene transitions. You don't need all these, but that's how you get what I have here. I don't usually like to have these scene transitions or even the vertical scenes. So you just have the vertical sources. That's absolutely fine. Now, to get to the next step, of course, you need to mirror what's on your stream on the main broadcast onto your vertical source over here. So I've just got some random stock images of Fortnite gameplay and someone playing that's a stock picture. So we'll use that as an example, but all you need to do is go to the vertical sources, click plus, and then click on your sources, whether it's display capture, whether it's game capture, you add in your cameras and all your gameplay. But for me, it's going to be image. I'm going to do this one right here. So you can, of course, move it around in the way that you want to look at it, and then go to the next thing you want to add, which is your face cam, and we'll pop that up the top. So this is kind of like a standard format for a lot of TikTok live streams. Pop that up there and you've got your TikTok live stream. Really nicely and easily done. So something else that you can do as well is you can actually link the scenes. So if you switch scenes that you have in your main stream, it'll also switch scenes in your vertical scene. So you can do that by clicking on link scenes, and then every scene that you have in the vertical list can be linked to a corresponding scene on the horizontal. So for mine, I only have one because it's only a test one. But if you click on that little plus, that little tick next to the scene you want it to link to, then whenever you switch to that scene in your main broadcast, it will also switch it on the vertical. Now, in this fake stream, we only have one scene, but yours will have more, so that's a really nice little feature that you can use. Now, to get this over towards TikTok, you need to download the TikTok Live Studio, which is basically TikTok's version of OBS. It's the way that you can directly stream to TikTok, but of course, you can't do it anymore directly through OBS. So this is their version of it. Click download for Windows. You might need to apply for access. You might need to have your TikTok account approved, etc., etc., but you can get that. That's not too difficult to do. Download for Windows and then open it up. So when you open up the TikTok Live Studio, you should see a way to sign in, whether it's a QR code, username and password. Sign into your TikTok account through there and make sure your account is actually eligible to live stream as well. I don't know what those requirements are, but make sure that it is. Once you open up the app, then you should be greeted with something that looks a little bit like this. If it looks a lot like this, then you're on a good track. If it looks a little bit sort of horizontal and landscape, then you can change your scene from landscape to portrait. Now, to get our OBS vertical canvas onto our TikTok Live Studio canvas, we need to add a new source and we need to add a new virtual camera, which is the way that we're going to be operating this way of doing things. So you need to go into add source, add camera, and then click add at the bottom right. For the camera, you need to make sure to click on the OBS virtual camera. That's going to be the camera that basically mirrors what we have in OBS into this application. Resolution is fine because it's not actually in the format that we want it right now, but we'll fix that in a sec. FPS can be 60, whatever you have it as, and it should be right there. So you can see this is our OBS sort of logo. And if we go back now to our OBS and we start virtual camera, we should see that, look, our OBS horizontal gameplay, our main canvas is now into our TikTok Live Studio. And of course, this is frozen because it's a picture, but it will update and it will just mirror exactly what's on there. But of course, this isn't vertical. So let's fix that right now. Let's go back into our vertical plugin. Go into the cog right here. Change the vertical camera. If it's on main or both, change it to vertical. And then click on this button right here, which is the vertical virtual camera. Quite difficult to say, but that's how it's... that's what you need to click. Click on that right there and you get your vertical virtual camera. Ew, that looks disgusting. Why does it look like that? It's because we already have it set as 1920 by 1080 in the settings. So go to your settings of the app, or of the source, I should say, and it says the selected resolution is unavailable. We can choose 1080 by 1920, which is vertical, and it looks so much better. Right click, then you can do full screen or fit to screen. There you go. And it looks so much better. So now, once you have your vertical camera running and you're live streaming, you now have a mirrored option of vertical to the TikTok Live Studio, which will be exactly the same as your OBS. So everything you do in OBS will now be mirrored into this app. One thing to note is that you have to start your main stream before starting the vertical camera or the virtual camera on the vertical scene. So keep that in mind, start your main horizontal and then start the virtual camera in the vertical mode. The only other thing that you need to keep in mind as well is your audio. So your audio mixer, the way that you operate the audio, make sure to have that set as your microphone and your gameplay. If you have a Go XLR, broadcast stream mix, really easy to use. That's what I've got down here. So you can see broadcast stream mix is my mic. So make sure you get your audio set up correctly and you can just go live. And that's how you get your main stream from OBS into TikTok Live Studio for TikTok vertical streaming.